You want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about sports in the state of Michigan? You've got the truth, all right. Can you handle the truth? Find out right now on the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast, the show that detects and provides truth, research, and statistics about the Tigers, Lions, Red Wings, Pistons, Wolverines, and Spartans. Subscribe to its YouTube channel at the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast and listen to it in audio form wherever you get your podcasts. Follow it on X, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at Michigan_Truth, and like its Facebook page and know the truth. And welcome to another episode of the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast. I'm the creator and your host and Michigan Sports Truth Detective, Taylor Phillips. In this and every episode, you will hear nothing but the truth, the entire truth, that is. No tomfoolery, no coddling, no entertainment, no bull, no junk, no nothing. The truth consists of research, statistics, and fair and accurate criticism about the Tigers, Lions, Red Wings, Pistons, Wolverines, and Spartans. The question is, can you handle the truth? Of course, we're going to talk about all Tigers. And now I'm going to break down a lot of Tigers information here to answer the ultimate question of this episode. Are the Tigers really a legitimate World Series contender? Now, I want to go ahead and get to my screen sharing mechanism, if I may. Of course, there you see the Tigers on top of the whole heap, 49-30, a game ahead of the Los Angeles Dodgers, who are 48-31. You can look them all down. You can click on MLB right there to take a look at all the standings. Of course, the Central Division, the AL Central Division is out of hand. But there's a lot of holes that bring up a big ultimate red flag that, make the Tigers look like frauds and not exactly World Series contenders. They're only contenders of a division, if you know what I'm saying. Let's look at the division standings right now. The Tigers are 8.5 up on the Cleveland Guardians. Of course, the Guardians are just 2 games above 500, 39-37, and the rest is history. That's just an example of why this is still an AL Comedy Central division. So, take a sip of my water here. Turn on my light. So, the Tigers, most fans think they have a lot of good players. I'm here to prove them wrong. So, the Tigers do have quite a few good players that are potentially headed to the All-StarGame as of right now. But I want to break down all the holes and all the gaping holes of the rest of this Tigers roster. So John Brebbia right now still not even on the 40-man roster. 7.71 ERA. As you look at this on MLB.com, yeah, he's 1-0, but don't let that fool you. 7.71 ERA, 177 WHIP, 18 2/3 innings, just 20 strikeouts in 19 games as a relief pitcher. That is gothic horrid, if you know what I'm saying. That's just absolutely abysmal. And this is only the beginning.
Bo Brisky. He was sent down to the minors, back down to the minors. This year, 1-3, 6.55 ERA, 164 WHIP. Ugh, also abysmal. I mean, come on, are you kidding me? So that's two terrible pitchers already. Jack Flaherty, a starting pitcher, 4.83 ERA, 5-8 this year. They got him back from the Dodgers at the beginning of this season, at the beginning of this calendar year. 4.83 ERA, 121 WHIP. It's not bad, but 4.83 ERA as a starter, that's not even close to being an elite starter. That's not even close to being good. I'm sorry, but it's not. Matt Gage hasn't gotten any playing time. 4 games, 0.00 ERA, more playing time. Sawyer Gibson Long. He's got a 4.58 ERA. Exact same ERA as Jack Flaherty. 108 WHIP. Kind of odd. Oh, 4.83 ERA. I'm sorry. For Flaherty. 4.58 ERA for Flaherty. So not exactly the same, but they're both abysmal. I don't care. My mistake. Sean Gunther. He was sent back down to the minors. 5.23 ERA. 145 WHIP. 0-1 record. Terrible. As a relief pitcher. Brennan Hanafy. Of course, as a relief pitcher, 3.69 ERA as a relief pitcher. Not quite terrible, but still not good enough. 141 WHIP. Bad. I'm already starting to say it's time to cut all the fat. Carlos Hernandez, whom the Tigers claimed off waivers from the Philadelphia Phillies. 5.46 ERA, total one for both teams, 175 WHIP. I want to break down into two teams here. For Detroit, an ERA of 7.71 as a Tiger. That's even worse. Oh my God. Seriously. I mean, come on. .771 ERA for Brebbia, 7.71 ERA as a Tiger for Carlos Hernandez. Both exactly the same. This time I got that one right. Tyler Holton, as we move on here. Tyler Holton, 3-3 record, 4.58 ERA. Same exact ERA as Sawyer Gibson Long. Wow. It's kind of weird that, there are two situations. Sorry, wrong player. There we go. Oh, close tabs. Sawyer Gibson Long, 4.58 ERA for Gibson Long, 4.58 ERA for Holton. They're kind of weird that there are two situations where two players had the exact same ERA as Tigers players. Brant Herter. Yes, he's got a 2.75 ERA, 2-3 record, 1.25 ERA. His overall stats this season thus far are still good as a relief pitcher, but his last 7 games, 0-2, with a 6.75 ERA and a 350 whip. What? In 7 games? Three games started. Oh my God. Seriously. How is that possible? Is he being worn out by AJ Hinch? Seriously, come on, someone talk to me, huh? Oh, Casey Mize. Yes, he only has a cramp. Whether it's his hamstring or not, I don't care. I'm not worried about that. Actually, I'll get to him later because he's not that. His stats are not that bad. Kyler Montero, who was sent back to the minors. Oh, Judas Priest, 3-1 record, 4.02 ERA, 139 WHIP thus far this season. Definitely not good as a starter, to be honest. Reese Olson, who was on the 15-day injured list. Mize is out of the question, and so is Olson. He's got they both each have an ERA of just less than 3. Olson right now has a 2.96 ERA, 1.17 WHIP. And so those are all the bad pitchers that the Tigers have. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bad pitchers right now. 9 bad pitchers on this Tigers 25-man roster. Yes, it's showing the 40-day roster. The 40-day roster, not 25. So it's the 40-day roster. A couple of them were sent back down. Or 3 of them, rather. Now for the bad hitting. Jake Rogers. He's definitely a backup catcher for now. A 188 average, a 562 OPS. Not good. Definitely not good. Andy Ibanez. Man, oh man, 213 average, 611 OPS. It's a little better, but still not good. Jace Young. Get ready for this one. Jace Young has a 111 batting average with an absolutely gutter trash 356 OPS, on base plus slugging percentage. Oh my God. You ready for more? Oh my Lord, you better be ready. Ryan Kreidler. He was sent back down to the minors after posting a 105 average. A 105 average with a 295 OPS. Are you kidding me? Ibanez was sent back down to the minors as well. So was Jace Young and Ryan Kreidler. How about Justin Henry Malloy? He was sent back down into the minors. 215 average, 638 OPS. Not bad, but still not good either. Oh, man. Just 2 to go. Parker Meadows, he hit a 3-run home run yesterday. Whoop-de-doo. Guess what? He still has a 172 batting average with a 607 OPS. Those are not good. And then finally, Matt Vierling, still on the 10-day injured list. 2 for 11 thus far this season. That's it. 182 average, 364 OPS, including a 182 on-base percentage and a 182 slugging percentage. all 182s. Isn't that weird? In such a negative way? Really? I mean, come on. Seriously. So those are all the bad hitters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bad hitters. Now let's get to the all the Tigers players that are being promoted as nominees for being selected to the All-Star game. That could be selected to the All-Star game. That could be fan favorites. Let's start with the ones that are not, that that are clearly not making the All-Star game. Of course, Casey Mize, like I said, 2.88 ERA, 124 WHIP. Not quite. Those are good, but not quite there yet. Reese Olson, 15-day injured list. 2.96 ERA. Almost as good. 117 WHIP. Not quite there yet. He's still on the 15-day injured list. He's still rehabbing. Will Vest. He could actually barely make it. 2.50 ERA as a closing pitcher with a 100 WHIP to be exact. 5-1 record. Those are good. Tommy Canley, where the hell is he? Canley, there he is. Oh yeah, Tommy Canley is definitely all-star. But 135 ERA, 0.75 WHIP. He's all-star material. But we'll get to him. We'll get back to him one more time after I sort everything else out. But Colt Keith, let's get back to him. For the hitters that I see are that the eye can see are clearly not quite all-star, not all-star material. Colt Keith, 243 average, 733 OPS. Before I'm just throwing these out there before you even consider voting for them recklessly, like a slappy. Trey Sweeney, 222 average, 593 OPS this year. Those numbers suck. And Sweeney's being listed as a voting nominee for being an all-star player. It's just too much over-representing in the city of Detroit, really. Trey Sweeney is fifth as a shortstop for the All-Star game. I don't know why. That is blatantly. Come on. Spencer Torkelson started off hot, but his average. Look at his duration split numbers. The last 30 games, 206, 306 on base percentage, 402 slugging. Last 15, 179 average, 277 on base, 339 slugging. And then the last 7 games, even a whole a whole lot worse. 120 average, 258 on base, and 200 slugging flat, which leads to overall this year a 223 average, 330 on base percentage, a 470 slugging overall this year, and it which leads to his 800 OPS, which is still good, but 223 average. No way. That's unacceptable. Not all-star material. I'm sorry to all the Torkelson fans out there, but nope. I'm not pushing that button. I got to be smart. Kerry Carpenter. .246 average. Not as bad, but a 729 OPS. Not as high as Spencer Torkelson's OPS. So no can do for Carpenter here. Carpenter's last seven games, 0.48 average, 130 on base, and a 0.95 slugging, which leads to just a 225 OPS in Carpenter's last 7 games. That is freaking insanely a bottomless pit, if you may. If Kerry Carpenter wants to be an all-star and be a big hitter, then he better bet a lot smarter and a lot harder, a lot more aggressive and smarter. And then for my biggest and only Tigers snub, all-star snub, Zach McKinstry. 272 average right off the bat, 778 on base plus slugging, 778 OPS. So his last 7 games, 208 average, 231 on base, 333 slugging, which makes it a 564 OPS in Zach McKinstry's last 7 games, which is not as good as his overall OPS thus far this season altogether. And now for the players that are clearly leading that are like definitely leading the leading candidates, leading all-star candidates. That's the word I was looking for, candidates. Gleyber Torres, 278 average, 804 OPS. Those are acceptable. And he can field. So in my eyes, he's in. Javier Baez, ready for these stats, these good ones. 290 average, 801 OPS. But a 290 average, that's good. Close to 300. His last 7 games, look at this. 348 average, 429 on base, 739 slugging. That makes it a 1.168 OPS, 1168 OPS in Javier Baez's last 7 games. That is a ridiculously high OPS in his last 7 games. Javier Baez is on fire. I still can't believe I'm saying this, but hey. But then again, he's back into his Chicago Cubs form. 2016 World Series, man. Riley Green. Of course, everyone's consensus Tigers All-Star candidate, 291 average, 875 OPS. Ooh. Even higher, baby. His last 7 games, 429 average, 452 on base, 893 slugging. So let me get my calculator out because this is these stats are skyrocketing now. 4.452 plus 0.893. It's a 1345 OPS in Riley Green's last 7 games. 1345. Man, crank up that heat, will ya? Of course, Tarek Skubal. Yeah, he's the Tigers' ace. He's an all-star in my opinion. In all our eyes, 2.06 ERA, 8-2 record, 0.85 WHIP. Well, that's Tarek Skubal, all right. There's no doubt about that. That's really ridiculously good. 117 strikeouts, by the way. And now for the surprising Tiger All-Star candidate that I think that should really make the All-Star game, Wenzel Perez. Check these stats out. 296 average, 994 OPS. Yowza! Last 7 games, 320 average, 393 on base, 800 slugging. Wow. So that's an 1193 OPS. Almost as high as, not quite as high as Riley Green's OPS in his last 7 games, but 1193 OPS in Wenzel Perez's last 7 games. That's good, but 994 OPS overall, that's really good. I would, if I were an average Tiger fan right now, I would definitely vote for Wenzel Perez right now 5 times. But those are the only 5 or 6 good players that the Tigers have. Even Zach McKinstry would be good in my eyes, but not quite an all-star. I would pick him as my lone Tigers all-star snub candidate. However, let's get to the entire Tigers schedule. Oh my goodness, where the heck is that Tigers schedule? Oh wait, right here. So the Tigers, I want to break down some I want to break down a few losses that are actually like at least lopsided. Take a look at this. Saturday, May 10th at home against the Rangers, Tigers lost 10-3. That's bad. 6-1's not quite lopsided, but the offense just was trash. The Tigers in that series, the Tigers only averaged 2 runs per game against the Rangers, who are 20th place in all of MLB. And then you got the St. Louis Cardinals game on Monday May 19th at the new Busch, the latest Busch Stadium version, losing 11-4 to the Cardinals. That's let's take a look at that one as I open this tab. The box score: Gunther, Montero. This is a bullpen start for. This is like another bullpen start game, right there. I want to go back to the 10-3 loss to the Rangers on May 10th at home. Yeah, Jack Flaherty started. He got torched. 5 earned runs on 4 hits. That's lopsided loss number 2 that I pointed out right there. And then the Tigers head to the South Side Chicago, split a 4-game series with the lowly Chicago White Sox when they should have swept them the way they swept them back in mid-April. This is an 8-1 loss on Tuesday, June 3rd, earlier this month, on the 3rd of this month. Bo Brisky, just an inning and a third, didn't give up any runs, but it's still a relief pitcher starting game. Brisky, Herter, 4 strikeouts. That's impressive. Gave a 1 run, but not too bad. Brendan Hannafy, he walked a couple, but struck out 3 in an inning and 2/3. But Tyler Holton and then Dylan Smith, they both got torched. Holton, 3 earned runs on 3 hits in an inning. Dylan Smith, 2 earned runs on 3 hits in an inning with 1 walk. Holton gave up a home run. Chase Lee, 2 earned runs on 3 hits. I want to take a look at Chase Lee real fast before I get off track here. Chase Lee, 2.25 ERA, 0.92 WHIP. He could also be a candidate for an All-Star as a relief pitcher. That's right. Tommy Canley, I mentioned him. Tommy Canley. Like I said before, Tommy Canley, 1.35 ERA, 0.75 WHIP. That is way low. Canley's like a brick wall on that mound, man. But anyway, this was ugly. Those lines were ugly right there. So the first 3 I would let off the hook, but in general, it's not. It's just this mindset that you don't want to have. I know Jackson Jobe is out for the rest of the season with Tommy John surgery, like I mentioned before in my last episode of this podcast. Then the 10-1 loss in Baltimore to the Orioles on Wednesday, the 11th of this month, June. Casey Mize, just 2 earned runs, but 8 hits. It's kind of weird. Mize keeps getting lucky that he gives up very minimal run damage, but gives up quite a few hits per game. And then Tyler Holton gives up a run on 3 hits. Brendan Hannafy, 2 runs on 2 hits. Bo Brisky, 5 runs on 3 hits. Ridiculous. Thank God Bo Brisky was sent back down to the minors. And then the Cincinnati Reds, June 14th, at home, losing 11-1. That's definitely a blowout. That's another blowout loss. This is unacceptable. Jack Flaherty, 7 earned runs on 5 hits, 4 2/3. 5 walks, 5 strikeouts, 3 home runs allowed. Ugh. Jack Flaherty has been a bust for this Tigers team. I guess he's better off. Was he better off a Dodger, or is he just not that good? And then 2 bad losses in Tampa against the Rays. 14-8 first off. Flaherty again. 8 earned runs on 6 hits and just 2 1/3. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 1 home run. Jesus. Someone please help me. Someone please talk to me here. God almighty. And then the 8-3 loss. Another this is the ugliest of bullpen pitching starting pitching games. Brant Herter, 4 unearned runs on 2 hits in just 2/3 of an inning. Sawyer Gibson Long, 4 earned runs on 6 hits. Dylan Smith pitched a solid perfect scoreless 8th inning, lowering his ERA to 300. And that's where it is right now. Dylan Smith, 300 ERA, 117 whip. But those are all the 8 lopsided losses that I pointed out this season. That's just unacceptable. So before I conclude here, I want to go to spottrack.com. There you go. I want to click on the Tigers here. Jack Flaherty. I want to open a new tab here. Jack Flaherty has a player option that's worth $10 million. Right now, he's on a 1-year contract, originally worth $25 million. Scott Harris and Jeff Greenberg are paying this bum $25 million, and he's getting torched out there. What in the hell are Harris and Greenberg fucking doing? Flaherty doesn't become an unrestricted free agent until 2027 unless the Tigers decline his player option for 2026. I'm not gonna bore you with any more of these, okay? I'm not. So Javier Baez has improved. Good. We'll skip him because he's off the hook. Because he's vastly improved. Gleyber Torres, Tarek Skubal, Colt Keith. Let's look him up. He's got to be. Holy cow! Colt Keith's not a UFA until 2033. Oh my God! He's on. Colt Keith is on the hook through 2029. Then he has a 3-year club options. 3-year club options for 2030, 2031, 2032. They're paying this guy like an average of like $4.67 million per year, and then his option for 2030 is $10 million. His player option for 2031, $13 million, and in 2032 his club option is $15 million. Yes, I know Colt Keith has kind of improved a little bit, but Colt Keith, hang on a second. Let me reopen it. Try to reopen a tab here for Colt Keith. Let me look up his last 7 games. His last 15 and his last 7, both 238. But to compare between last 15 and last 7, his last 15, 327 on base, 452 slugging. That would be an OPS of 779, which is not bad, close to 800. And then his last 7 games, 320 on base percentage, 571 slugging percentage. So that's an OPS of 891. So that's a slight improvement. Colt Keith in his last 7 games, 891 OPS. Despite his stagnant 238 batting average in his last 15 and last 7 games, his overall batting average 243, OPS 733, but his OPS his last 7 games 891. He's slightly improving, so I'm gonna give Colt Keith a break for a bit. So there's that. Let's go to Jake Rogers. He avoided arbitration this year. He's on arbitration number 3 next year, 2026, and then 2027 he becomes an unrestricted free agent. Rogers is being paid $2.64 million, which is not too steep. Not steep at all, but it's no wonder because of his low stats. Next up, Casey Mize. He avoided arbitration this year, $2.34 million. He's on arbitration 3 next year, same situation, 2027 UFA. Zach McKinstry. Let's check him out. 2 arbitration years, ARB2 for 2026 and ARB3 for 2027, UFA for 2028. Zach McKinstry is only being paid $1.65 million. Will Vest is on arbitration 1. That's avoided. Just $1.4 million. ARB2, ARB3, and then UFA the next 3 years. Yeah, we don't need I just look up Riley Green because he's good, because he's too good. Tyler Holton, only $797,700, less than $1 million. He needs to be sent back down to Toledo, period. Or better yet, Lake Erie. Or the Erie, or better yet, Erie. Because he's a home run inducing machine. He's not a UFA until 2029, Tyler Holton. I'm going to take a sip of my water here. Kerry Carpenter. Let's see, just $796,800. No telling on whether when he becomes an unrestricted free agent. He's got 3 arbitration years coming up after this season. Spencer Torkelson, who's laboring yet again, $785,700. No shit, Sherlock. And then three more arbitration years thereafter. Parker Meadows. $781,600. and then pre-arbitration the next 2 years. That's all that shows for that one. Wencel Perez, let's take a look at him because we want to keep him. Pre-arb the next 2 years, $770,700. His career earnings $2,012,872. Wencel Perez needs to be extended because Wencel Perez has been red hot. Right, I want to take a look at Riley Green. I wonder if he should be extended. 3 arbitration years the next 3 years, $812,400. He should be extended. He should be signed to an extension. Trey Sweeney, whom I think should also be sent back down to the minors, just $764,000, and then pre-arb the next 2 years. Man, Sawyer Gibson Long, pre-arbitration the next 2 years after $763,600. Dylan Dingler. I didn't even look him up on the Tigers roster yet on MLB.com. $762,600, then pre-arb the next 2 years. Oh my God. Manage history. 40-man roster. There we go. Then close the library. Dylan Dingler. I want to look him up for a second. 273 average, 731 OPS. He's another all-star snub. I'm sorry. So I got 2 snubs, McKinstry and Dingler. Because Dingler's last 15 games, 186 average, 234 on base, 256 slugging. That's only a 590 OPS. And then the last 7 games, 182 average, 240 on base, 182 slugging. That's only a 422 OPS. That's even worse. Dingler's really laboring even worse than Torkelson is. My God. So Dylan Dingler is actually more into my bad hitting tier than just not all-star material, than the not all-star tier in my list of tiers. Brennan Hanafy. Just a few more to go. I promise. I promise I'm almost done. $757,712, and then pre-arb the next 2 years. Dylan Smith, who was just called up, just $694,620, pre-arb the next 2 years. Carlos Hernandez, arbitration 2, super 2. Arb avoided $654,885, and then ARB 3 for 2026, ARB 4 for 2027, and then he becomes an unrestricted free agent in 2028. He was owed $505,115 by the Philadelphia Phillies. Carlos Hernandez, another player who needs to be sent back down to the minors. Chase Lee. Chase Lee, less than 750 grand. Pre-arb the next 2 years. Jahmai Jones. No pre-arb. Just 500,806. But it says pre-arbitration there. But Matt Gage, the last one, being the last one on the Spot Track Tigers list. Less than 500 grand. 445,374. And then pre-arb next year. And then the injured list. Let's not forget those. Alex Cobb, a veteran. He's owed $15 million, but he's on the injured list. Still rehabbing. Jason Foley, out for the year. He's owed $3.15 million. Matt Vierling, still on the 10-day injured list yet again. $3,005,000 with avoided arbitration. He's not an unrestricted free agent until 2028, until the end of 2028. Jose Urquidy, who has not played at all this season. He's got a club option for $4 million. He's owed only $1 million this year. In 2027, he becomes an unrestricted free agent. Reese Olson. Just a little over 750,000. And then pre-arb and then ARB1. Ty Madden, injured. More like minor league material payroll. 761,400. Alex Lang, I forgot to touch on him. Olson was 787,100. Alex Lang, 782,200. That's the same. And then the next 3 years are arbitration, then 2029 at UFA. And finally, Jackson Jobe, who's out for the rest of the season with Tommy John surgery. As you may recall, 760,900, and then pre-arb the next 2 years. These are all the Tigers listed on Spot Track. So Harrison Greenberg have decisions to make with those guys, with those injured guys at the end of the year, or with Jackson Jobe. They might keep him, but let's take a look at Jackson Jobe one more time. Mr. Jobe. Jobe has got a 4.22 ERA, 1.49 WHIP. Yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bad pitchers on this Tigers roster. Jackson Jobe is not ready. Wasn't even ready to begin with. Wow. So the Tigers have 11 bad pitchers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 bad hitters. That also includes Dylan Dingler. And then 5 players that are being selected as all-star candidate. Tigers all-star 5 Tigers players that are being selected as all-star candidates that are clearly not quite all-star material in terms of statistics. Zach McKinstry, I would say close, but not quite. But Colt Keith, Trey Sweeney, Spencer Torkelson, Kerry Carpenter, no way. They have clearly not earned it. So that leaves only Gleyber Torres, Javier Baez, Riley Green, Wenzel Perez, and Tarek Skubal. As my 5 all-star my top 5 All-Star candidates. I almost forgot to mention Jahmai Jones, who's got ridiculously high stats but hasn't got much playing time. He's got a 409 average, a 1298 OPS. His last 15, forget it. It just all adds up. But just 22 at-bats, 9 for 22. How many games has he played? Just 15. That's it. 13 games, actually. Not 15. Not exactly 15, but 13 games Jones has played in the major league level with the Detroit Tigers major league product roster. So those are all the statistics. They're like 10 Tigers All-Star candidates, but only 5. But only I see only 5 of them. 5 out of 10 making it to the All-Star game, but there are like 11 bad. There are 11 bad pitchers and 9 bad hitters, which adds up to 20 bad players. Plus, their defense is making way too many errors again. As a team, there's no particular Tiger player that has way too many errors himself. Just the whole team just keeps making errors. So what have we learned? The Tigers are not an elite World Series contender. They need to beef up their roster to become legitimate World Series contenders. They need better players. They have 20 bad players and 5 average players, or 4 average players. One of them is decent. One of them actually decent, and then 5 All-Star players in my eyes, and then one outfielder, Jahmai Jones, again, 409 average. Let me look him up again. Jahmai Jones. Yeah, 409 average. 1298 OPS. He just needs more playing time. AJ Hinch must play him. He's got to play him more. He's got to play Jahmai Jones more. He does. I'm not kidding. So that if the Tigers kowtow and cater to those bad players like Gibson Long, Hannafy, Carlos Hernandez, Tyler Holton, Jack Flaherty, they're definitely not even gonna make it to the World Series. Not even close. Or Jake Rogers. He can play defense, but Jake Rogers can't hit. Andy Ibanez was sent back down to the minors. Jace Young, Ryan Kreidler, all sent back down to the minors because of terrible hitting and terrible plate appearances. Parker Meadows, terrible hitting, although he hit a 3-run home run to break it wide open in Tampa. Matt Bierling, only 2 for 11. And then winding up on the injured list again. He's got to go. He's a bust. Justin Henry Malloy, also in the minors. This is not good enough for the Tigers if they want to be World Series contenders legitimately. They are lucky. They are so lucky to have the best record in all of Major League Baseball. They somehow keep finding ways to win. Granted, but they have way too many bad players on their roster. Way too many holes to fill. So, wow, this was an hour long. So that's what we've learned on this episode of the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast. I'm Taylor Phillips. Let me take a sip of my water here before I Tell you where you can find this show. Subscribe to its YouTube channel at the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast. Like its videos and turn on all notifications on the bell icon. Listen to it in audio form on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, and JioSaavn. Also join its supporters club on Spreaker, just $2 a month, just $2. That's the cheapest deal anyone on earth can ever find and afford. Also on social media, follow the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast on X, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at Michigan_Truth, and like its Facebook page. Follow me on X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and YouTube at DT2Phillips with 2 L's. Also on Twitch at DT2Phillips1984. Statewide business endorsements go to Cops and Donuts, Hooters of Saginaw, Flint and Taylor, Meyer, J&H Family Stores, Positive Chimney and Fireplace, Rally House, Michigan, and Rally House, Detroit, Jets Pizza, home of the best Detroit-style pizza in the state of Michigan, Alpine Chocolate House with 5 locations in Manistee, Boyne City, Gaylord, Sault Ste. Marie, and Plymouth, Toy Town in Cadillac and Reed City, Subway with a new Cadillac location on 903 North Mitchell Street, Hudsonville Ice Cream, originally made in the Grand Rapids area, the Metro Grand Rapids area, Tom's Food Markets, Big B Coffee, Detroit Wing Company, Tommy's Express Car Wash, Simply Delightful, Tropical Touch Spa, and Main Street Rocks in Lake City and Durand. Main Street Rocks in Durand is also a proud sponsor of Swartz Creek Youth Baseball. Metro Detroit area business endorsements go to Geno Surf, Avenue American Bistro, Mocha Donut and Boba, Modern 7 Bistro, Northville Sports Den, Union Barber in Birmingham, Ferndale, United Mobile Power Wash and Dry Ice Works in Southfield, Athletical Physical Therapy on Woodward in Ferndale, Blind Owl, Royal Oak, Cali Tickets, call 877-225-8425 or visit calitickets.com. That's 877-225-8425 or calitickets.com. The Jagged Fork, Goodman Acker, and Northwestern Technological Institute. Let me take another sip here. Local business endorsements go to the B. Ford Foundation, Cadillac Grill, Cadillac Nutrition, Cadillac Horizon Books, Front Porch Suttons Bay, Creative Embroidery in Cadillac for designing the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast logo on my long sleeve shirt and t-shirt, Cuts by Melanie in Lake City, the El Cilantro Taco Shop in Petoskey, Erica Nita of Traverse City Real Estate, Michigan Coffee Company, Northern Auto Lab in Lake City, Pro Quality Cleaners in Cadillac, Raven Social Restaurant in Cadillac, Misaki Golf Course in Lake City, Bay Mills Resort and Casino in Brimley, United Food Service Solutions of Grand Ledge, Fletcher's Pub Texas Corners in Kalamazoo, Northern Star Event Rentals in Cadillac, the Food Mafia's Let's Roll With It Rolled Ice Cream in Cadillac, the Michigan Theater of Jackson, south of Lansing, Yen Yoga and Fitness in Traverse City, located inside the Delamar Resort, Hotel and Resort, T's Tanning Salon in Cadillac, the Michigan Theater of Jackson, which I already mentioned, Wellbeing with Catherine Palms, and the Sweet Shop. So until next time, I'm Taylor Phillips signing off, but remember, we observe and detect the truth about Michigan sports because the truth is out there. Ta-ta, hit them with a hind.